Hey, this is Leslie with Comfortable Shoes Studio, and this is art journaling number 25, Inktense on the gel plate, but it should be called Inktense Patience. So in this video, I actually lost the first half of it where I worked the Inktense blocks onto a wet gel plate. I sprayed the gel plate down with just plain water, and then scribbled all over it with four different colors of Inktense, and then sat and waited for it to dry. And it took 20, well, not 24 hours. It took about 8 hours. I went to bed because it was still wet, still wet, still wet, and then finally just realized I wasn't going to be able to pull it that night, which is probably why I lost the first half of the video where I was actually doing the scribbling with the Inktense. So anyway, this dried overnight, and actually I left it on the plate for the entire day while I was at work. So I'm just lifting it with a Liquitex Basics, which is my favorite paint for the gel plate. And you'll notice that I put on too heavy a coat, and then I'm lifting off a lot of it, and I'm just rolling that excess paint off screen into my art journal. It leaves such a nice base for an art journal page that I always roll off onto a spare page. And so you can see in the journal there, trying to decide where to place this. You got to work pretty quickly when you're working with that little paint. And I decide to position it in the lower right corner of that page. And here again, I'm going to sit and I'm going to wait. I did snip out a large chunk of the sitting and waiting. I'm putting away the Inktense blocks because I got some time to wait. And here I'm just waiting. And I am impatiently kind of poking at it, hoping it's time, and it's not. It's not time. You gotta wait. And this is the boring part. So this is really a technique I think to do at the very end of a gel printing session, because if you're in the flow of printing and you do this, you are going to end up waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting some more. All right, so pretty soon here we're going to have the reveal. And what I really like about this is how intense the colors end up, especially where I've got the white Liquitex. I probably waited a good 10 minutes before I pulled this print. And here we go. I'm going to get to see the reveal. Yeah, there we go. So super intense colors. The white Liquitex did lift every single bit of the Inktense off. It is still, I think, can be reactivated. I'm not sure. I've gotta work more into this page. I haven't had a chance to do that yet. I did when I ran my fingers over it. I did end up getting Inktense on my fingertips. So I suspect that you're gonna be able to re-wet that. So I decide that because I want to rework this, I'm going to put some clear gesso. This is my new favorite technique. I'm rolling out some clear gesso. Thank you, Andy, for the tip. And okay, so clear gesso rolled out super thin. And again, I'm going to roll that out onto the spare page over here. And I'm getting that super, super thin. I just want the barest coat of gesso on there. Because I want to make sure that when it does dry, I'm seeing all of that intense color from the Inktense blocks. So here again, popping that on there. This time my brayer is not as dirty as it was before, so it doesn't tone it down quite as much. But yeah, I thought this was a really cool technique to get kind of a marbled, fun appearance. It does stain the gel plate, so that is something to be warned about, and I do clean it off here in a minute or two. And again, here again is where patience is key. I snipped out a good good 10-minute wait of video where I waited for the gesso to bond to the page. So you see, it doesn't tone it down all that much. Now I'm going to clean my plate. So this is something that I'm starting to do more often with my plates. Um, it's not something I used to do, but pretty frequently I will wipe them down with a baby wipe, and massage in a few drops of mineral oil. And this is especially important if you are doing a experimental technique like the Inktense blocks, or you're going to use alcohol inks on your plate, because you're going to want to pull out the excess ink that's kind of embedded into the plate. So in the case of this, I didn't show it particularly well, and because my work surface is brown right now, um, you're not seeing the scribbles. So you can see on the paper towel that I'm using to lift off the mineral oil that there's a lot of Inktense embedded in that plate. I'm pulling out a lot of color. So this is just a regular paper towel, and I'm going to spray it down with some plain water after I do this, and it pulls out a little bit more. Yeah, I'm sorry. This process is a little boring, but it's also necessary, so I've left it in. Um, I think, gel plates are expensive, and maintaining them, I've learned, is well worth it. I did a video previous, I'll link to it here somewhere, where I refurbished and made plates work almost as good as new, um, through massaging on and letting some mineral oil soak into it. They're not perfect, but wow, is that I saved the program where I work hundreds of dollars by refurbishing them. Anyway, with that, take care of your gel plates, use your gel plates, slap them into your art journal, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. A quick thank you to everyone who's out there, who's watching and enjoying the videos. I really appreciate your support, and I'll make it awkward and say head on over to Ko-fi and buy me a coffee. Thanks, everyone. Bye.